On this 2019 to 2025 Ram 2500 HD with the 6.4HEMIGas engine, P0172 means the PCM is seeing the bank 1 fuel system correcting rich. In plain terms, the engine may be getting more fuel than it needs, or the sensor feedback may be making it look that way. The truck may have the MIL on, and if it is stop/start, that system can be disabled while this code is active. Don't start by blaming the oxygen sensor. This fault often points first toward possible fuel delivery problems, purge leakage, intake or exhaust restriction, MAP input issues, injector leakage, engine mechanical concerns, O2 wiring, the O2 sensor itself, or, at the end of the path, the PCM. Before testing, start with the basic system checks and make sure you can reproduce the operating conditions. This monitor is part of the emission strategy for faults that could exceed 1.5 times any of the standards. Treat the running conditions as a monitor gate. Closed-loop fuel control, battery voltage above 11.0 volts, barometric pressure greater than 75 kPa, ambient temperature above -7 degrees C, 20 degrees F, and fuel level greater than 12%. The failure logic is based on fuel correction. When short-term and long-term fuel corrections together drop below the calibrated rich threshold, generally 67% with 100% as nominal, the fail timer starts. After 30 seconds of fail time, the diagnostic fails. First, scan every ECU, record the codes, and save the scan data and related operating data. Clear the codes, turn the ignition off for a minimum of 10.0 seconds, then turn the ignition back on. Use the captured conditions and the monitor conditions to operate the vehicle the same way it failed. Read the codes again. If P0172 comes back, continue the diagnostic path. If it does not come back, handle it as an intermittent condition instead of guessing at parts. Next, look at the recorded codes and see whether any fuel system or air handling faults are active or pending. If they are, diagnose those concerns first. A rich code diagnosis can get misleading fast if another fuel, air, or drivability issue is already present. If there are no active or pending fuel or air handling faults, move on. Now check the exhaust system for restriction. Start the engine, make sure there is good exhaust flow at the tailpipe, and visually inspect the exhaust for damage that could create a restriction. If you find a problem, make the appropriate repair and verify the repair. If not, continue to MAP sensor operation testing. If the MAP test shows a problem, repair that concern and verify it. If the MAP test passes, check the purge solenoid. With the ignition off, disconnect the hoses at the purge solenoid. Apply 5.0 Hg to the engine side of the purge solenoid with a hand vacuum pump. The solenoid should hold vacuum for a minimum of 15 seconds. If it holds, reconnect the vacuum hoses and continue. If it does not hold, verify good pentaterminal contact at the evap purge solenoid and PCM connectors. If the connectors are good, replace the purge solenoid, then verify the repair. After purge passes, test the fuel delivery system. If that test finds a problem, make the appropriate repair and verify it. If fuel delivery checks out, move into engine mechanical and related rich condition causes. Make sure the air induction system is not restricted. Check that valve timing and compression are within specification. Make sure the fuel is not contaminated. If an injector is suspected of leaking or having an abnormal spray pattern, remove the fuel rail with the injectors intact, energize the fuel pump to maintain rail pressure, and check for leakage before actuating the suspect injector. Then actuate the suspect injector with the scan tool, inspect the spray pattern, and compare it with the others. If you find a mechanical or fuel-related problem here, repair it and verify the repair. If not, continue. Only after the mechanical, fuel, purge, exhaust, and MAP checks pass should you move into the upstream O2 circuit. Disconnect the bank 1 upstream O2 sensor connector and the PCM C2 connector. Do not probe the PCM harness connector directly. Probing the PCM terminals can damage them and create a poor terminal-to-pin connection. Use the GPEC diagnostic adapter 10436 when a PCM terminal needs to be accessed. Check the upstream O2 sensor circuits between the sensor connector and PCM C2 for a short to ground and for an open or high resistance. If you find a wiring problem, repair it and verify the repair. If the wiring checks good, continue. At this point in the path, replace the bank 1 upstream oxygen sensor. Reconnect the bank 1 upstream O2 sensor connector and the PCM connector. Turn the ignition on, clear the codes, and operate the vehicle under the same captured or monitor conditions that set the fault. If P0172 does not return, the upstream O2 sensor repaired the fault. If P0172 does return, continue to the connection inspection path. Disconnect all PCM connectors, related inline connectors if equipped, and related component connectors. Inspect connector installation, connector locks, corrosion, water intrusion, whether seals, bent terminals, overheated terminals, terminals pushed back in the cavity, spread terminals, and terminal tension. Repair any conditions you find. Then reconnect the PCM inline and component connectors, making sure everything is fully seated and locked. Clear the codes. Test drive or operate the vehicle under the monitor and setting conditions, and read the codes again. If P0172 does not return, the wiring or poor connection issue has been repaired. If it does return after this connector path, replace and program the PCM, then verify the repair. Keep verification separate from testing. After any repair on this path, clear the codes, operate the vehicle under the conditions that run and set the diagnostic, then confirm P0172 stays gone. The takeaway is simple. For a rich bank 1 code, prove the code returns, rule out other fuel and air faults, check the rich mechanical and fuel causes first, then move into O2 wiring, the O2 sensor, connector integrity, and only then the PCM. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.